Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. I'm Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm a spiritual medium and intuitive reader. I've got a message for Sagittarius today, and this is a really big message, so I can't wait to get started. To let you know how this works, I have asked my guides in spirit to bring a message through, through the cards for you that is beneficial and helpful. Hopefully more helpful than my tripping over words. And for you this week to help you navigate what's going on. And I really feel like this is a big message for someone. So if you are new to the channel, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome, and I strongly invite you to subscribe so you can stay in contact with this high vibration information and support every week. And if you're returning, I'm so glad to see you, and thank you so much for sharing this journey with me. I really love to do these readings for you, and thank you so much for sharing your time and energy. So let's get started straight away with your reading. We have an opportunity this week, Ace of Pentacles. So the universe is presenting you with a tangible item of growth, I will say. Pentacles are traditionally money, but I don't believe we're talking literally for everyone about money. This is just something that can grow. And the thing is that this is a project or an invitation that is asking for a lot of investment. It's asking for commitment. It's asking for emotional devotion to a long process. So this is not for the faint-hearted. This is like, okay, here's the start of something, but it's going to take a lot of hard work. It's going to take a lot of dedication. Now, Sagittarius, oh, you crack me up. Knight of Wands is how you respond. You're like, yes, bring it. I'm ready. I can do it. I'm ready. Let's do it right now. And you're so impatient and excited to get moving. And that's just it. You want to see movement so fast. You want to see everything blossom for you so fast that you're just running in there, right? Now, the universe loves your enthusiasm. I also love your enthusiasm. But there's a different message going on. Pentacles are a much slower type of growth. It's a slower, deeper, patient type of growth. The impatience of the fire can cause problems when trying to force something to happen. So let's go into the rest of this story. We've got the Page of Cups going into the Eight of Swords, and then the Two of Swords coming kind of to bat. So this, I feel like this reading, although I do them every week, I feel like this is more of a universal reading for you. So if it's kind of either making you mad or really making sense to you, I would invite you to come back and revisit it so that the information really gets down there. This Page of Cups refers to your emotional reactions to things. So when you're trying to force your way, you're so excited and enthusiastic about this project. When you're trying to force your way, not everything is running immediately, quickly. And the other thing is, they're saying to me that rather than measure your progress in like tangible success, so like, okay, I accomplished one pentacle, then I accomplished two pentacles, you don't measure it in, what are the benchmarks on the earth? You measure it in how you feel about it, the Page of Cups. And you don't think about, this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because you're measuring in back up. You're measuring your progress in your emotional reaction, in your emotional impression. What's the word? Not impression is not the right word. I'll come up with it maybe, or maybe they'll give me a different word. In your interpretation, there we go. In your emotional interpretation of how things are going. So when everything is opening and flowing and you're getting your way, essentially, you're happy and you're like, the project's going well. And then when things aren't going your way, or you hit a bump or just something, then the project's going horribly. And the thing is that neither one of those may be true. When things were going well, that doesn't necessarily mean that you were progressing. It could just mean that everyone was agreeing with you and you felt great. And likewise, when things aren't going well, sometimes that's an indication that you are moving forward because you're observing different obstacles, or you're encountering different obstacles. Now, here is the gold right here is that your vibration is so powerful that when you get into those funks, when you get into those emotional funks, it actually holds up your enterprise. So it has nothing to do with the actual work you're doing, the physical processes of that, or the things, the actions you're doing. It's all about your emotions. So when your emotions aren't high, when they're not vibrating high, look what happens. 8 of Swords, you get stuck in the thorns, and then 2 of Swords, you don't know where to go. You don't know how to go forward. You're stuck. 2 of Swords, the swords are like this, so it's definitely like you shall not pass, right? Sorry, a little Lord of the Rings reference there. But it holds up the process for you, because then your mind starts going into, oh my God, it's not working. Oh my God, it's not happening. And those thoughts churn up the water of your emotions, which make things worse. And you start to actually believe your emotional response, your emotional interpretation. And then here's the other part. Then you start to react to that emotional interpretation. So if you've interpreted that things aren't going well, then your action, you can't, I love fire signs because you act, right? You feel an emotion, you act. Other signs feel an emotion and they do something else, like they'll hold on to it or they'll bury it. But you're like, oh, I feel this way, I'm gonna act, and I react. So you feel not great, your mind is reinforcing that for you, so you're feeling even worse, and then you act in a way that sabotages the project. You act too impulsively, you act too rashly, without really paying attention to what's actually there or what's actually going on in the long term. So, Sagittarius, especially this week, this is about backing up and calming down. That when you're in an emotional reaction of any kind, you also need to take stock of what's actually happening in front of you. So this is a really silly metaphor that is popping into my head, but it's like if I decide I'm going to bake a cake, and maybe I've got the oven preheated and I've got all the ingredients mixed together. So everything is waiting in the cake pan, ready to go in the oven. So I'm at that stage, I've completed that. And my friend calls and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm baking a cake. And they're telling me what a wonderful idea that is and how talented I am. And I'm feeling so great that I completely forget to put the cake in the oven. I go off and do something else. I come back 3 hours later and there's no cake. In fact, I have to start over because all of the air has gone out. Anyway, so that's what I'm saying. You need to take stock of what's actually there, in addition to your emotional reaction. I never want to invalidate your emotional reaction, but you have to understand that emotional interpretation and physical evidence are 2 different things. They're not the same thing, but your habit is to take the emotional reaction as evidence for the physical evidence, as proving the physical evidence, right? It doesn't prove the physical evidence, it proves your reaction to it. So keep stock of both of those things, because to make this grow, yes, we need your passion, yes, we need your dedication, but it needs to be like a 1 step at a time process, and then it goes very quickly, actually. So if I had followed through with that cake and actually put it in the oven before my friend called, at the end of the phone call, I probably could have said to my friend, hey, would you come over for a piece of cake? But because I got distracted and so overwhelmed with his positive feedback on my cake baking, I forget to actually make the cake, right? So I'm sorry, I'm cracking up at that. So anyway, if you've got questions about what this means or how to implement it into your life, let me know in the comments below. And you know, I always love hearing from you. I really treasure your responses. So that is it for this week. Want to let you know that I'm also available for one-on-one readings over Zoom. You can check out True Guidance Tarot or email me. My description is in the email below. My email is in the description below. And I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you next time.